This is a weather alert. You are watching 13 on your side.
You know, if you've been outside at all today, then you know it is hot. In fact, all of West Michigan is under that heat advisory.
So we want to get right to Chief Meteorologist George Lessons. And George, is this the first time we've hit 90 degrees this year?
This is the first time for Grand Rapids to hit 90 degrees. Did hit 90 along the lakeshore yesterday, but it is definitely hot out there. Currently in Grand Rapids, we're at 93 degrees, 94 Holland, 92 in Muskegon, just as hot in most other locations. Adding insult to injury is that Dew Point, which has climbed into the 60s and even 70 plus. You combine those, you get that heat index value at 96 here in Grand Rapids. That is reaching the heat advisory category, and that heat advisor will last at least until Friday at 8 p.m. But I've been looking at the longer range model. This may actually last into Saturday. What is a heat advisory? That's when heat index values reach 100 or higher. It may not reach excessive heat warning this week, but definitely is going to be hot and humid. The heat risk outlook tomorrow is in the extreme category, so we are going to hang on to this heat and humidity all weekend long. Just get places where you can be cool, and that includes movie theaters and malls and all of those other places like the lakeshore. And we'll talk about the lakeshore conditions coming up a little bit later on.
A little cool when the city pool's open, but this is perfect weather for splash pads and swimming.
I hope that all the kids are finding something to do to beat the heat, because George, it sounds like it's going to be around for a few days.
It could be around for several days, guys. Boy, that's so inviting. I want to go to a splash pad right now, or a swimming pool, or any place that's cool. It could be indoors as well. But if you are outdoors, limit your time. I'm only going to be out here about 4 or 5 minutes on the weather deck, then back into the air conditioning. 13 weather ball is green. No change to the heat wave foreseen. It is blinking bright. Tomorrow afternoon away from the lakeshore, there could be some pop-up thunderstorms in sight.
The 13 on your side weather ball, sponsored by Countryside Greenhouse.
And around the area, hazy skies about the region. The cooler spots are again at the lakeshore, but there are some waves building. You can see these are about 2-foot waves right along the lakeshore, 89 degrees even at the beaches, and the winds are fairly light, only gusting to 16 miles per hour along the lakeshore. In Montague, also 89 degrees with that south wind. Those are 1 or 2 foot rollers, but they're going to increase here during the day tomorrow and overnight. But 1-foot waves right now, a little haze in the air, but all the way around, this is the most inviting. There is a beach hazard alert that goes into effect until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That's for Muskegon County northward, so you might want to choose beaches further to the south during the day tomorrow. Water temperatures, those areas that did take them, are coming up mid and upper 60s, and they should climb all week long. We had a pop-up thunderstorm down near Middleville this afternoon. There are still a couple of down through here, and this is in the afternoon heat of the day, and once we get to around 9 or 10 o'clock, all of those will dissipate. That'll be the case in more areas tomorrow afternoon away from the lakeshore, but for the most part, a very dry weather pattern. It is currently 93 with mid-90s to the south. When you factor in the humidity, it feels more like 96 right now, and we'll see heat index values 95 plus most of the week. That's why we have a heat advisory in effect for our area, a little hotter over toward the Detroit area, where heat index values may get up to 105. It looks like the heat index is going to be right around the extreme category tomorrow and again on Wednesday. Starts to drop a little bit on Thursday, but still in the extreme category into Friday. Still in that moderate category then during the day on Saturday, but we finally get a break on Sunday. High temperature forecast, you'll see this in a moment, 90 plus many days up until Sunday when we drop back into the 80s. And when you factor in those dew points, it feels even hotter. We'll be in the 60s to near 70 by Friday. And then it looks like some of that humidity and heat will come back the middle part of next week. Extending our outlook through the 27th of the month, still high chances much of the country will have hotter than usual temperatures and a higher chance for seeing more precipitation toward the end of that 10-day forecast as well. Tonight, though, clear skies along the lakeshore, around 70 to as warm as 76 there in Holland. That's a very warm night. Low and mid-70s to the north, with that south wind diminishing just a little bit, and perhaps an early evening thunderstorm until about sunset, which is at 9:24. Overnight lows in the mid-70s. 13 on your side forecast. Ironically, the first day of astronomical summer doesn't arrive until Thursday, but it certainly will be hot all the way through Saturday now. Best chance of rain will come Saturday night. It's only a small one. And then next Wednesday or Thursday, there's a slightly better chance of seeing some showers and thunderstorms. So you'll need to not only water your pets if they're outdoor pets, but your plants as well.
Yeah, it's going to be very hot, George, so we'll make sure to take those precautions. Thank you.
Over the weekend, we went from comfortable to just blazing hot in almost a blink of an eye, setting records across here in portions of West Michigan. Is that going to continue? 13 weather ball is green, so no change to these 90s and the heat wave foreseen. It's also blinking bright. A good possibility inland away from Lakeshore tomorrow. There could be some thunderstorms in sight.
The 13 on your side weather ball, sponsored by Countryside Greenhouse.
All important to keep your outdoor pets, and even if you're walking the outdoor pets, hydrated and a short period of time. Going to give a green paw to Lucia for Piper to head on out. Yeah, you're panting already. I can see it. 90s this evening, only dropping into the mid to upper 70s overnight. So just take it easy and take short walks just to do your business. As far as sunshine tomorrow, a few inland clouds may knock back our solar energy creation for green energy a little bit, down to 5.6. Winds will be a little bit on the breezier side tomorrow, but not as breezy as it has been here in West Michigan. Did have a pop-up shower and a thunderstorm near Middleville this afternoon, headed to the northeast. Those are now way up over the thumb area. Still a couple of pop-up showers here and there. The atmosphere is just trying to get capped, though, not allowing the storms to build up. That may change here during the day tomorrow. There's a little wave of energy that may come up later on in the afternoon. So away from the lakeshore, you can possibly get a thunderstorm. 93 right now here in Grand Rapids, 96 in Chicago, 86 there in South Bend. When you factor in the dew points, it feels more like the mid and upper 90s. Feels like 100 down in Fort Wayne, 101 in Toledo. We have a heat advisory that remains in effect not only tonight through tomorrow, but all the way through Friday. It may extend into Saturday. The heat risk outlook today was only in the major category. It jumps into the extreme outlook for Tuesday, Wednesday, and possibly Thursday as well. And then it starts to taper off just a little bit heading toward the weekend. By Sunday, I think we'll see a little bit of a break from our weather pattern, but nonetheless, it will still be hot and humid all the way through at least on Friday. As far as the long-range outlook, this takes us through the 1st of July. Still high probabilities will be warmer than that 82 to 83, and an equal chance of seeing more or less precipitation during that 1 week period. Forecast then for tonight, a muggy night. Temperatures under mainly clear skies, low and even mid 70s from Holland down through South Haven. Up north into the low and mid 70s, heat advisory continuing, and here in the greater Grand Rapids area, there could still be an early evening possible thunderstorm, but otherwise dry, only in the mid 70s for overnight lows. 13 on your side forecast. Ironically, astronomical summer arrives like 4 or 5 days into this heat wave. 93 on Thursday. We'll hit 92 tomorrow, 93 Wednesday, 90 on Friday. All of those days are going to be very humid, if not humid, through Saturday. Saturday night, cold front comes through, knocks the humidity down. Still a little bit humid on Sunday, but dropping to more comfortable levels early next week. But there are indications that the heat wave will somewhat return the middle part of next week, along with just at least a better chance for a shower and thunderstorm. Just stay cool, hydrate your pets and your plants over the next several days.
Yeah, I kind of forgot it wasn't actually summer yet.
Not quite.
Feels like it, though.
It does.
Thank you.
Because of the heat, George, it's going to be a lot of things going to be happening, and some things are going to be canceled as well. But we had some bad weather move through an area that just recently had some severe weather last night.
Yeah, that was yesterday evening, and we'll take a look at some of those damage reports from down there and the heavy rain. But the heat is on everyone's mind. When is it going to break? Well, not this week. 13 weather ball is green, no change foreseen. Tomorrow afternoon, possibility of an inland thunderstorm has our weather ball blinking bright for that in sight.
The 13 on your side weather ball, sponsored by Countryside Greenhouse.
Hot day today, temperatures up into the mid 90s in most locations. Cool spot, 86 at Ludington. We did not break a record in Grand Rapids, but a new record in Muskegon and in Holland came within 1 degree also down in Kalamazoo. And we had a bullseye here on your Monday, 21 days in a row. within our target range. Our first 90-degree day usually occurs on June 18th, so we were pretty close to where we should be for this time of year. Last year it came on May 30. Tomorrow we're forecasting low 90s, perhaps a record again in Muskegon, probably not quite so in the rest of the locations. Here are some of the storm reports from down south. All of it was a strong thunderstorm wind damage, including a 76-mile-per-hour wind out at the airport in Kalamazoo, all from that line of storms that popped up into the early evening. And a lot of heavy rain, most of it down to the south and over in the Lansing area, where every 3 to 4 inches of rain fell in a short period of time. About 2 1/4 inches there in the Portage area. Nothing like that going on this evening. There were some pop-up storms around Middleville. There's one in Allegan County right now, but these are going to dissipate once the sun goes down. It is 90 at the 6 o'clock hour. We're only going to be in the mid-70s overnight. Dew points have climbed into the 60s to near 70. That's the uncomfortable, very uncomfortable range. And when you factor in both of those, you get those heat index values at 95 or 100. It feels more like 100 over in the Detroit area, where they have an excessive heat warning for much of this week. We have that heat advisory all week long through at least Friday, may extend into Saturday. High temperatures are going to stay a 90 plus in most areas all the way through Saturday. It may taper off a bit on Sunday into the middle part of next week. Looks like some of that heat will return next Wednesday and Thursday. Dew points will stay in the 60s to around 70 until next Monday and Tuesday. More comfortable weather, and then climbing back into the 60s and 70s midweek next week. In case you missed it last Friday, high chances that our heat wave will continue, at least the chances for warmer weather, all the way from the 29th of June through July 12th, and an equal chance, maybe leaning a little bit toward a higher chance of seeing less precipitation during that 2-week period. So for tomorrow, upper 80s to near 90, Ludington and Hart, low 90s, Muskegon and Honolulu. It'll be a breezy day with a south wind. Waves will be high from Muskegon northward. Heat advisory continues. Windy tomorrow, low 90s, including 92 at Fremont, 93 Greenville. We'll be in the low 90s with that pop-up thunderstorm away from Lake Michigan later on tomorrow afternoon, a possibility. 13 on your side forecast. Astronomical summer not arriving until 4:51 in the afternoon on a Thursday. But in the meantime, hazy, very warm, humid, chance of a thunderstorm Saturday night, but nothing on Sunday. And then next week, we also have a chance of some storms the following Wednesday and Thursday.